You're listening to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. Here are your hosts, Dave and Aaron. Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I'm Aaron.
I'm Dave.
This is Dave. How are you, dude? What's going on?
I'm having such a good time.
I know, right?
Today has been great.
Yeah, dude. We're just hanging out in the studio, getting some stuff done, recording some ad reads.
Record some ads.
Yeah, we got a guest coming in later. That's gonna be fun.
Cannot wait for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's freaking great, man. Life's great. You're about to go on a little vacation for the eclipse, right?
Eclipse is Monday. Dude, I'm fucking stressing out so bad because of the weather.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm just not going to do anything.
God, I have such I've never watched weather as diligently as I have for the last 10 days or whatever it has been since Sunday has been available. I am it's stressing me the fuck out.
I mean, I get it. I used to for working outside, I had to look at weather a lot for scheduling different crews and stuff.
It's hard to guess where fucking clouds are gonna be, right? But so we know that there will be general cloud cover in some areas, but bro, one day it was supposed to rain in Ohio, then it wasn't. Now it is again. Now it's supposed to rain in Ohio and Indiana, but not in Cleveland. Cleveland has a chance. So I'm bouncing all over. I've got 3 or 4 spots that I've been paying attention to. So I'll be somewhere in the band up in the northern part.
Yeah.
And then it's just cross my fingers, and I know nobody will hear this until after the eclipse, but cross your fingers for me, please, afterwards, or you've maybe heard me say something about how great the eclipse was.
I'm sure it'll be awesome.
Oh, man.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's neat. I'm trying my hardest to, help.
Hey, man, just let go, and it's going to be what it's going to be, and just go enjoy the experience.
I know, and that's
what
you
anyway. Yeah. I'm just saying, you know what?
I just wanted to be there.
I know.
You know how shitty it would be to be blocked by the sun or by a cloud? Yesterday when it was just gray here, the whole sky was gray.
Yeah.
And I literally looked at the weather and I was like, where the hell do I have to go to get out of this right now? And it was
Florida?
It was dude, hours and hours south. I'm not driving. And that's the whole thing. Down in Mexico and stuff, they've got a pretty good clear path. I hope everybody gets to see it, though. I hope it's good weather for everybody.
That's why I was talking earlier here at the Little Bean Grow Shop where we have the Little Bean Studios. Thank you again to Charlie and Rochelle at the Little Bean Grow Shop. If you are anywhere near the Chicagoland area and you are a grower of either home and garden or your classic accoutrements plants like hemp or cannabis. I don't know why I said it like that. It's just...
I mean...
But come here. The point is, come here to the Little Bean Grow Shop, 650 North Peace Road, DeKalb, Illinois. They have the best stuff, the best customer service. And
they have the best people.
Yeah, they have the best people.
Charlie and Rochelle are unbelievable humans, and I am... I'm blessed to that they allow us to be around them in the capacity that they do.
Oh yeah,
such good people, and they really they lead with passion. And I talk about it all the time with cannabis and shit too. They genuinely have some awesome products. They represent a lot of the people that we talk about, and we try to represent too. It's a good culture over here. And if you're trying to grow medicinally and you don't understand
these people,
and you'll have somebody to be able to talk to. So, as Aaron says all the time, get your medical card and learn to grow. If you don't know how, this is a beautiful starting place. Come check our friends out.
Heck yeah. That's
right.
Yeah, I don't remember. We were talking about something earlier, and I don't remember because I wanted to make sure I plugged in. What were we saying? What were we just saying?
The eclipse is a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah.
And love your life. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You feel tiny when that sun starts dancing around.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I remember what we were talking about because you said, no. I just needed a quick fresher because we were talking downstairs. We were talking about how we like sitting on days like this, make sure we sit in our grow rooms. And that's one of the great things about being a medicinal grower is that I get to hang out with the lights, and the lights are great for you and they make you feel good.
Yep.
You
If
know what I'm saying?
if they are growing your plants,
Yeah.
they definitely are
Yeah.
giving you
Yeah,
something
they're giving
too,
you energy
right?
too. You know,
So
wear sunscreen, UV. Sunscreen is important. Take it from somebody who has lots of tattoos. Sunscreen like a mofo.
yeah,
Hey, let's get into plugs right away, or plugs real quick, so we can get it going. And then we got some cool stuff to talk about. It's been a minute since we've done an actual show where it's just you and I,
yeah.
so we wanted to get back to that and talk about some stuff that's been happening. So let's do plugs real quick. If you grow, you know. Having the right gear for your home garden makes all the difference. That's why you need to get on board with Crop Culture's quarterly home grower boxes.
Crop Culture releases insane value boxes every 3 months packed with premium seeds, growing equipment, and unique extras tailored for those who want to plant with a purpose.
But that's not all. Coming soon, they're launching monthly crop drops, where you can snag a pack or two of Fire Genetics along with must have gardening accessories like AC Infinity's legendary trimming scissors.
We're talking stickers, mystery goodies, and deeply discounted bundles you won't find anywhere else. Just an easy one-time purchase with no commitment.
Their current quarterly box is an absolute steal, featuring top shelf genetics, a pH meter or smell proof bag, monitoring tools, fermented plant probiotics, and more.
And for our listeners, use the code 2DOPEDUDES for $10 off any purchase of $100 or more at cropculture.net.
So whether you want the full quarterly experience or just need a regular re-up, Crop Culture's got you covered.
Level up your garden and score some gear that'll have your plants standing tall. If you grow, you know you need to check them out at cropculture.net before sold out regret sets in. Let them help you plant with a purpose. Hey, Canna Curious connoisseurs, are you looking to elevate your wellness routine? Take it up a notch with Mr. CBD Chicago.
That's right, dude. They've got everything you need from their brand new El Jefe line with CBD and THC sprays for a discreet and convenient dose, to their legendary Moonrock Matte Bottle Rockets and the always satisfying Spliff Society pre-rolls.
And listen up, 2Dope Dude listeners. Use the code 2DOPEDUDES at checkout for 10% off your entire order at MrCBDChicago.com. That's right, 10% off.
So ditch the stress and embrace the good vibes with Mr. CBD Chicago. Head over to their website today. Just remember, use the code 2DOPEDUDES for that sweet discount. You're not going to regret it. Hey there, fellow plant enthusiasts. Tired of using chemical fertilizers that harm your soil and the environment?
We feel you. That's why we want to introduce you to Green Grow Biologic.
Green Grow offers organic soil amendments packed with beneficial bacteria and mycorrhizae fungi like their popular Pride Bloom fertilizer and flower finisher.
These little powerhouses work together to improve your soil health, helping your plants grow strong and healthy naturally. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, Green Grow has something for you.
And because Green Grow is committed to sustainable practices, you can feel good about what you're putting into your home and garden.
Head over to thegreengrow.com to learn more about their amazing products and how they can help you take your gardening to the next level.
And listen up, because here's a special offer just for our listeners. Use the code 2DOPEDUDES for 10% off your entire order at thegreengrow.com.
That's 2DOPEDUDES for 10% off at greengrow.com. Happy planting!
You can find us, the Elevated News Podcast, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming podcast apps. The @2DopeDudes YouTube channel. Please give us a like, leave a review, subscribe. This helps us reach more people. Appreciate all the people I've been seeing in live chats.
It's so cool.
Dave, you've been in a lot of the live premieres. We just premiered the episode with Smoking with Savages with for the Growers Hangout. That was fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I was there
love
the
it.
other day. I felt very bad for not responding, but I was driving. So
Yeah.
I was being responsible.
Be safe.
I was being responsible.
Listen on your Bluetooth.
Yeah, I was gonna watch something while driving because I had a 40-minute drive or whatever.
Yeah.
And I opened up YouTube and saw that there was a live premiere of the most awesome show. And I love Tank and D.
Yeah, they're fun.
Obviously, you and Mark, you're my boys.
Yeah.
So it was a great show.
Yeah, it was a good show. But yeah, appreciate all the people that have been reaching out, subscribing, talking about it, leaving likes. We love it. Yeah, and you can find us on supportdopepeople.com. Just had my first shirt order the other day.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Order
Let's
number
go.
1.
Nice.
Appreciate the heck out of it. That was cool. Yeah, made me collect X. So you can find us on supportopeople.com along with links to our other pods and free stickers just by providing your email and address. Those will be coming. I know you have been signing up. I have to get those all together and put those out. And thank you for that. Email us at twodopedudspodcast@gmail.com for all your questions or things you would like us to talk about. If you would like to be on the show and you are a podcast listener, regardless of who you are, please reach out. Say, hey, I want to be on the show. Tell us you're interested.
I'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, we'll make something work. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
We like talking to people that not necessarily everybody else has talked to.
And I feel bad because I talk too much. Sometimes you got to tell me shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
But do it because your story is worth hearing.
Yeah.
And I love interpreting how it could be impactful towards the taking this thing to the next level.
Yeah,
We're
supported by viewers like you.
I've been motivated lately with kind of, there's been this little passion kind of coming back for cannabis for me. Really has been. There's so many good people and shit, whatever. But yeah, thank you all.
Just got to be around the right people, man.
That's it. Yeah. Hey, speaking of being around the right people, come hang out on Thursday nights at Peace, Love, and Cope on YouTube. That is me.
Yep.
I am there as a solo face. You can ask me anything about cannabis that your little heart desires. If I don't know, I do have a crew of people who sit in there with me who probably do know. So
like me, like drummer.
Right. There's plenty of people who have a ton of great cannabis experience.
Yeah.
You guys know me to be more medicinal. I beg you, if you are listening to this and you have a medical condition and you just use cannabis because it kind of makes you feel good and you don't have a specific direction with your use and it's just smoke when I need to feel comfortable, please talk to me and let me help kind of give you a little bit of a routine with the thing that might benefit your health. Literally, I'm not trying to smoke and mirrors people. Y'all are doing this thing already. Just ask the questions, please, and let's talk about what you have going on. It's worth it. You are worth it. There is nothing else going on in my life except for I would love to help you understand how to implement this thing against your condition. So please, Thursday nights, Peace, Love, and Cope. If not, you can always reach me. I'm on YouTube or on Facebook.
You can sometimes you can sometimes reach him on Instagram. Sometimes he'll sign on and like the memes that you send him.
The Instagram's like once maybe every 2-3 weeks sometimes.
Man. I know.
I don't even know if I trigger it. I think it mostly comes from YouTube kicking me over to Instagram, and then I'm like, holy cow, so many people have said hello.
Yes.
And then I got to go in there.
That's where our community is on Instagram.
I know,
honestly.
I see it.
Yeah, dude.
I see a lot of followings. I see a lot of people that are really cool following me that I've not, like, I don't go on Instagram.
Post some cool pictures once in a while. That's all you got to do. You don't have to talk. That's what I love about Instagram. You can just post pictures, man.
Of my tits?
No, not of your tits. That's what Gone Wild's for.
But I could post my tits on Instagram too, right? Would it give me followers?
No, you'd probably get banned. You have to be very careful. You can post your tits on.
I don't mean like nipples and all. Like I mean like if I like
your birds.
You know what I mean? Like just let them hang a little bit.
I guess. I mean, it depends on how you identify.
As somebody who has tits right now. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
but
I don't know why we're stuck on that.
We're not there.
Okay.
All right, we're back.
Anyway,
welcome back to the Elevated News Podcast with two dope dudes. Where I'm not typically on Instagram.
Yeah.
And this is why, because I say stupid shit. So
that's what I like about Instagram. You can just post pictures and not talk. Haha. Anyway, on to news.
Yeah, touche.
Dude.
But I would post pictures of my tit. Anyway.
Yeah, but you can like post pictures of like you disc golfing. Like this. Or like this. Take a picture of this. I'm recording today. See, that's all you do. You just go like this. I'm a Zoid bug. Hey, so I wanted to talk about Illinois News Joint. Yeah. Jason Brown over there, great dude. Appreciate what you're doing.
Yes.
The Illinois Department of Public Health today finally released its January and February medical cannabis sales totals. January medical sales totals reached $24 million.
Yep.
And February totals reached $24 million and I don't know, another 20,000. Each monthly total
I can't see that.
Yeah, marked their lowest January and February totals since legalization in Illinois. So, yeah,
that is unfortunate.
it is. That's
I'm blown away
Yep.
still that people have not caught on to the thing that is a medical card. It is the
Correct.
fast pass.
Yep.
All right. This is literally, you
Yep.
guys don't get it. I love you
I
all. but
ignore
if
everybody
you
when I go
even
in.
are willing to go to a dispensary and spend money in
Correct.
Illinois
Correct.
at all,
Correct.
and you don't have a medical card,
Correct.
you are doing it incorrectly.
Correct.
I love you all, but if you literally are, you're doing it wrong.
If
You're
you-
paying 30% more than the other people are.
Yep.
And not only that, there are
Protections.
way better protections.
If you are growing in Illinois and do not have your medical card,
you're doing it
you
wrong.
are doing yourself a huge disservice, and you're doing it wrong.
Listen, and I'll even tell you because I understand the law, and it's per jurisdiction. But at this point, if you're growing 5 plants or less, no matter what, it is a civil disturbance to grow the plants, right? Because this thing next to me, well, first of all, it's hemp to begin with, but it's a plant. We haven't harvested it for anything. Right. The second that you try to take anything off of that plant, you have done it illegally. The license that you buy for what, $100, $200, you can get it from your, and I promise you, if you're going, well, how do you get it? It's way easier than you think.
There will be information on supporttopeople.com here soon, probably next month or so. Unfortunately, my contact will be, as you heard last week, I'll probably be working with Farah, and but she'll be on a trip for a month, so okay, we won't be able to do anything. But it'll be soon. We'll be able to help you sign up for your medical card in Illinois.
Bingo.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
In case it doesn't happen. But I want it to happen.
I might be able to facilitate some stuff too, if that's what it is. Because no matter what, your doctor should sign off on it. I understand that some of them are not allowed to because of the group that they work with or whatever, right? Some people restrict their doctors from doing so, but some of them are just lazy and don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Nor do they want to take that kind of heat, and they don't know enough about it to say, yeah, go ahead and do it. But that's where you become smart enough and say, I'm not asking for a prescription.
Yeah.
I'm asking for you to diagnose me as something through the state system, and the state allows all of these conditions to be recognized. If you don't think I'm, PTSD or post-concussive or something of that nature, like I played football in high school. I got banged a few times in the head.
Well, the thing is, if you're already diagnosed, now you have access to medical records like never before. You can just get them over online, emailed, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're already diagnosed, you can just take that. Then you know what I mean? And then you don't have to worry about trying to talk to your doctor and anything.
What I'm talking about is not even necessary.
I'm just saying. If you already have
you can read the list of I think 65 maybe or something qualifying conditions in the state.
A couple new ones.
And it's super cool. I saw that this was coming too. I didn't see it here, but I knew it was coming. There is a list. If you exist on the list as and you've gone to a doctor says this is you, bingo, done, right? And it's not like you don't have to feel bad about it or what. I don't know. Just go through the process because you're protecting yourself substantially better. In the individual instance, you have to understand, number one, you're only allowed to carry 30 grams of cannabis or possess 30 grams of cannabis if you don't have a medical license. The second you have a medical license, that cap is 100% removed within your house, and it's not if you're growing. Right? So it's your grown cannabis. You're allowed to possess it. You're allowed to harvest it and keep it. Has to only come from 5 plants. But if you have it there, they can't you're allowed to possess it. If you left your house, now with the card, you're only allowed to possess 2.5 ounces with the initial license, right? I've seen people with fucking 16-ounce fucking limits. 15.5, actually. His doctor would not put 16 on the card. It got 15.5.
Okay. Well, I mean, and It all depends on what you're actually doing. Are you actually using the card responsibly within the limits or reasonably within the limits, or are you like doing other things and trying to use the card? If the state wants to get you, the state will get you, is my point. You know what I mean? But like
Bingo. Yes,
if for the
yes,
most part
yes,
you are
yes.
actually growing medicinally for personal use,
I'm
you
far
probably
from,
don't
yeah.
need more than, I'm saying do whatever you want to do. I don't believe that we should follow any laws, but regardless, you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not
Like,
advocating for you to do
right.
things that aren't lawful to begin with.
Correct.
And that's what I'm telling you is that in this law, I'm just telling you it's interpretable after that point, right? It's
Yeah.
your situation is individual to you, but that license just fucking protects you so hard. And everybody says, "Well, what happens? Will I lose my guns or will I
Mm-mm.
nope.
Nope.
Is my work going to find out? Nope.
Nope.
Is my doctor even going to fucking know? No. Nothing that you do is tracked like that. It is some high level human in some data facility somewhere capable of accessing
Yes.
some shit. I'm probably sure of that. Of anything
The
that you
ISP
even
definitely,
say,
the ISP definitely knows. It's definitely there. That's why you can't purchase a gun from a gun store, because of the FOID requirement of the same background check that you have to go through for the federal background check. Again,
bingo,
they won't institute the first background check. That's why you can't purchase a gun in Illinois if
bingo,
you have a card.
bingo. And that's the other
But you can still have your concealed carry license.
100%.
You can still have your FOID card.
It's
You
renewable.
You can have
They're all renewable.
You can have your out of state concealed carry license.
It's all renewable.
All renewable.
I promise you.
Yep.
As somebody who's held both of the licenses,
Same.
all the licenses, I
Same.
promise you they're all renewable while holding one another. It's all okay.
I just haven't had an agent license. That's the only one I haven't had that you've had. That's the difference.
That agent in charge.
Yeah,
licenses.
agent in charge, yeah.
I was allowed to be in vaults, man.
Yeah, man.
No, which is cool.
Stepping over people and stuff. I'm just saying, like that's a great position to get. I'm sure you stepped over some people to get there.
All right. Yep. All right. Anywho, welcome back to the All right.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like, I know that's like a position within the dispensaries. Agent in charge allows you to, be by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you like that? I just flipped the script.
Myself. Yep.
Yeah.
Counting money in the fall. Yeah, no, agent in charge.
It's too bad. Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah.
I had something funny, but yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? I don't know why I just said it, the vault thing and everything.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the time that the B grade thieves came in and stole shit from a dispensary,
and
then
all they had to do
up.
was open the door.
They fucked up, dude. Well, the thing was, the entry, who cares? Get past that. The theft itself, what an amateur hour.
Yeah.
Someday I'll explain the whole thing on here or something. But it was.
I think you told me in real life once, I think, or alluded to some things that they could have done.
They picked up a box with grams of concentrate in it, right? And now the gram of concentrate bottle is like this big.
Right.
So there was like 200, 300, 400 grams.
Sure.
So like of concentrate.
Yeah.
They picked it up. It's very light.
Yeah.
They set it down, and then they picked up what Lauren last week was calling fucking trash in a can. Picked up trash in a can. It was heavy, so they went, fuck yeah. They grabbed that one and walked out the door with it. That's one of the instances of dumbness. The second one, they had 2 money boxes. There was a fumble at the door. They dropped the one, picked it up. There was a fumble outside. They dropped the other one. They picked it up. They were walking through. They dropped another one, got pissed off from dropping boxes, and kicked it because they were too worried about carrying a whole case of quarters out.
Yeah.
The quarters were worth $500. Okay. The lockbox that they took had our medical money in it. Okay, so we had like excess money or whatever the fuck it was. There was like $120 or $170 in it. The box that they kicked and left outside that the cops brought to me in the morning and handed to me, said, "We found this outside," was like $4,700 in it. They did get a few good boxes or containers or stuff, but my favorite part of the whole thing was sitting directly next to their head, and this was before dispensaries got far smarter, and they carry far less cash on hand, and they're good at turning this shit over now. We were at the beginning. Money was coming in so fast, we didn't know what to do with it. $375,000 sitting eye level, literally, from 3 people. They all walked past.
Didn't even look.
Didn't even fucking see it, dude. They would have actually had a solid payday. They may have got away with, and let's call it a good day, because they still probably made off with tens plus of product and whatever, tens of thousands, but it's maybe a few tens, right? One, dude, you know? Like, it was amateur hour all the way across, and good for them for fucking up, but anyway,
I always like to end this. I want to cap this off. This is my favorite part of all the medical discussions we always have.
Yes.
Okay, and closing this, Illinois has been stuck on 55 medical cannabis dispensaries for several years with no future plans to add more. Please also contact the state and ask them why the disparity survey is not out yet. Talk to crew. Seriously. Please talk to me about
what
this.
What is a disparity survey?
The state has owed us a disparity survey on getting into the cannabis industry and the different barriers for a while now. And we need that to help write common sense cannabis laws. And they're months late. Please contact CROO and ask them why the disparity study is not done yet. They hired somebody to do it. Where is it?
Wow.
Yep. On to another Illinois news joint. This was posted on March 11th, and it'll be freaking almost, I don't know, middle of April. It'll almost just like our 420 episode, probably.
Really?
One of these, I think so. Yeah. Anyway. I never have enough time to plan this stuff out. I need an assistant.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I don't want one.
We'll write you a few AI agents. We'll get you good.
I mean, yeah, it does help. The Medical Cannabis Advisory Board, in conjunction with the Illinois Department of Public Health, hosted its second virtual meeting from 1 to 3. MCAB board members took preliminary votes to include 2 qualifying debilitating conditions for medical cannabis patients in Illinois. After a few introductory items, board members first discussed the process for filing new qualifying debilitating conditions for medical patients. You know, I can read just fine, but sometimes just reading out loud is like...
It's also from the distance that you are reading those words, your brain is focusing more to, and it's not a bad thing, but that's literally something that,
Well, that I think I've told you I want to get I'm going to get a big screen to put over here.
That'd be fire.
Yeah, and then we can just like look, because we have a TV over here that we have not utilized yet, but we're here. I want one right there so we can read that, and that'll make it much easier.
Yeah.
So let's start this over. From Illinois News Joint, the Medical Cannabis Advisory Board votes to add 2 qualifying conditions. Now, MCAB, in conjunction with the Illinois Department of Public Health, hosted its second virtual meeting on March 11th. They took preliminary votes to include 2 qualifying debilitating conditions for medical cannabis patients in Illinois. After a few introductory items, board members first discussed the process for filing new qualifying debilitating conditions for medical patients, and then listened to public comments from medical patients and advocates about the Compassionate Use of Medical Cannabis Program Act. After public comment, board members voted anonymously via private messages for 2 new conditions to be added: endometriosis and FOD, which is female orgasmic disorder.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, no,
I
me
actually
too.
I saw this come up recently myself.
Yep.
Any condition that exists
Yes.
should be a qualifying
Yes.
condition for the use of cannabis,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yes.
That is because we are a symptomatic relief. We are not fucking there to cure anything, to heal anything, to make anything go away. That is not what cannabis typically tells people that it will do. The only things that we ever hear that happen with is and it's at a high level of control. It's
Yep.
epilepsy. It's not the reversal of the condition itself, but it's cancer. And
Mhm.
cancer could be a multitude of things going on
And that's more
to make things
specific
kind of happen.
with
So,
FICO extracts specifically, um,
I've
or a
seen
lot
a
of full
lot of
spectrum stuff.
I've seen so like I have a buddy who
And
had
at
a
high concentration. Is I'm just saying, like, smoking joints is probably not going to
But
kill cancer, but
so to a degree though,
probably
because
not.
this is my so
Right.
here's my take at it because I have a personal direct
Sure.
experience. I would call him a decent friend. I believe he would
Yes.
say the same. Had a baseball-sized tumor in his brain. He was
Okay.
getting headaches with some regularity. Went to the doctor, said, "Hey, what's up?" Doc said, "Holy hell!"
Yeah.
Immediately, radiation, chemotherapy, everything. You gotta go, and it scared him. And he's a very logical human.
Yeah.
He stepped back. He said, "I'm gonna work out better. I'm gonna eat better.
Yeah.
I'm going to." Just take the stress out of my life. I'm going to live my life to its fullest and
Sure.
I'll just live. I'll
Right.
be here once I pass whatever this thing
Yeah.
is. It will kill me and
Yeah.
that will be it. That's okay. I'm not mad about it. I'm
Sure.
going to do that. He did the paleo thing, I think.
Yeah.
As far as food intake went, he kind of exercised a little bit more jogging, running, but also hitting gyms and kind of just exhausting his muscles and making sure he was going to break down at times even. And then he was a beekeeper. That was his Zen space. He said it kept him kind of just comfortable, happy, whatever. And he smoked cannabis only for headaches because cannabis gave him a general comfort that took away some of the pressure from where the tumor was growing in. He said he could feel it directly in that area. So he 2-3 months later, the doctor said, "Well, if you're not going to do anything, come in and let us at least check
Yeah.
your growth or whatever." And he had, and I think it was a 3-month period, shrunk the baseball to the
Oh,
size
nice.
of I don't remember, a golf ball or something.
Yeah.
And then 3 months later, it was the
That's
size of
awesome.
a pea, completely benign. So,
I mean,
I'm
there's
not even silly enough to tell you that cannabis was the big factor in
no,
that.
there's definitely outliers. I'm just
There's
saying
everything coming
right.
together.
Yeah.
And that's why when you say in conjunction with,
Correct.
I would never even say cannabis is the direct thing
Right.
necessarily, as much as even some other people are willing to claim. Some of the hands that were one off of Raphael Mechoulam are doing direct lab tests with rats that have cancer in them,
Yeah.
and he's giving them different cannabinoids, and we are seeing decent results come back
Sure.
in actual lab testing of things. So it's not like anecdotal anymore. We're seeing direct science in work, and it's very cool, but it's not at a point where I'm going to go, yeah, you have breast cancer, now use CBG, or you have brain cancer, now use CBC or CBN, whatever his thing was. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, literally 2 of the tests that he did.
Right.
But and he was seeing better responses from one to the other in different types of cancer, but he's not done enough studies. I don't think enough studies have been done worldwide, but I can't wait until somebody does, because there's some really cool shit that happens with this
Yeah.
plant.
I want to read some of these other cool things that some of these people talked about. I just want to. Some of it's funny, some of it's good. Ari- uh, Ariane Richards, executive director of Chicago Normal, spoke next about what she regarded as the troubling mishandling of the petitions submitted in July 2023 to include 4 women's health conditions on the list of qualifying conditions for the medical cannabis program. So there's a bunch of people got to talk and they reported on what they talked about. So that's what this is. Our journey towards advocacy was met with immense disappointment due to the egregious mishandling of our submissions by IDPH, said Richards. Instead of receiving the due diligence and respect our petitions warranted, they were initially misinterpreted as applications for medical cannabis cards. This blunder showcases a concerning level of negligence, irresponsibility, and a lack of care within IDPH. Furthermore, it's imperative to recognize the systemic disparities faced by women of color, particularly Black and brown women, within the healthcare system. So that was one of the things that was talked about. They got to talk about. So that's awesome.
That does speak to the IDPH in some respects. But I think everything develops kind of as time goes on, and the state's not going to put a fuck ton of money into anything anyway. So they're just going to hire somebody who's a fucking brown noser, and then the brown nosers are all going to hang out and try to figure out a brown nosing scheme to just kind of restrict you from doing things. That's really all it is. And it sucks that they are so stuck in dumb shit that they're not paying attention to. Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks.
Caleb Pape spoke next and advocated for more access for medical cannabis knowledge and other medical needs for patients. By the way, anybody, just like Cannabis Illinois, Canna Equity Illinois, or Chicago Normal, anybody can sign up to be on these meetings and be a part of it. And if you're actually concerned about this stuff that we talk about, you should get involved. Just like I've gotten involved with Canna Equity Illinois, and I got Mr. CBD involved with them. And we were just down in Springfield last week with Goat Genetics and Kip Cure and Illinois Hemp Growers Association.
Yep.
Down there with Sun Drenched Farms. We talked about them.
So cool.
Everybody's so cool. So I think it's important that we allow patients access to proper medical cannabis consulting by placing a medical cannabis advisor in dispensaries and also in pharmacies, he said. Secondly, along with that, we need to see a greater array of cannabinoid profiles available to medical patients and greater advocacy. True. This is why you should get involved. This is why I'm involved. The present model is very THC driven with a slight nod to CBD and an occasional throwback nod to CBG, or some people pretending CBN is a sleep aid. Lastly, it's either Poppy or Pape. Advocated for a framework for customized products specific to the patient's endocannabinoid system and preference for consumption. So know your methods of ingestion, the whole thing, right? Yes, 100% right. Medical patient Emily then spoke about including a caregiver program in Illinois similar to those in other states in which a caregiver can grow medical cannabis for medical patients, as well as cannabis product quality control concerns and homegrown cannabis concerns. The last registered public comment did not get to speak, but the person's comment was a question about limits on how much homegrown cannabis can a medical patient legally keep in their own home. Big surprise.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. We'll just keep it going.
Yeah, let's keep it going. So they voted to recommend endometriosis and FOD to be added to the list of qualifying conditions for medical patients. Congratulations.
But if there were supposed to be 4 conditions.
There should have been. Yeah. There should be more. Well, here's the thing. You remember before, like, crew didn't even meet and they wouldn't even listen to, even pre-pandemic. You'll remember this because you were in the industry. They were not adding anything new. It was such a pain to add anything new.
No, they did one wave of updates, and it was like 3 things. It was when they got PTSD, though, and I give all the respect in the world for them to the PTSD shit.
Yeah. The Medical Cannabis Advisory Board had set its 3rd meeting date for August 2024, but several board members urged the board to move up the next meeting sooner because many of the conditions had been waiting for a vote for more than a year. The board also considered meeting in person for future dates. They won't do it. They don't want the feedback. The next meeting date will be announced soon. During that next meeting, board members will plan to discuss and vote on a few more qualifying conditions, including uterine fibroids, PCOS, and ovarian cysts. Also, things that sound very, very
Hey,
painful, and they should be qualifying conditions.
yeah.
So shout out to that. Yeah.
I think like I said, I am number one to tell you if you have a symptom
Yep.
that is inflammation, spasticity, pain, anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
nausea, fuck, dude, the list of tell me a symptom. If you have any of those, which
Yeah.
is anything that comes from any condition, cannabis is your friend.
So here's a great one.
Let's hear it.
This is from Marijuana Moment.
Ooh,
Citrusy smelling terpene in marijuana can reduce anxiety and paranoia caused by THC, a federally funded study finds.
oh, myrcene. Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
myrcene. Let's see here. A new study funded by the National Institute on Drug Abuse has found that a citrusy smelling terpene in marijuana could help ease anxiety and paranoia associated with THC.
Is it limonene?
The findings, researchers say, could you just hold on, sir?
Dude, I'm fucking.
You're like,
They're
man.
tripping me out. They're what?
D-limonene.
Yeah, dope.
So, published in the latest issue of the Journal of Drug and Alcohol Dependence, the new paper says that subjects who vaped the terpene d-limonene along with a dose of THC experienced less anxiety and paranoia compared to those who consumed THC alone. Cool.
But did they try any other
I don't know. Let's read.
terpenoids?
Ratings of anxiety-like subjective effects qualitatively decreased as d-limonene dose increased, the report says, and concurrent administration of 30 milligrams THC plus 15 milligrams of d-limonene significantly reduced ratings of anxious, nervous, and paranoid compared with 30 milligrams of THC alone. Although d-limonene modulated the anxiety-like effects, however, it seemed to have minimal effect otherwise on participants' experiences.
Dude, is that a fucking absolute dick ton of terpene though? Like an absolute dick ton.
Maybe.
Bro, I like wait, and I understand. So okay, let's just break it down. Okay, real quick. 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams.
Right.
Okay. 30 milligrams is 0.03 of a gram. So it's very small. But 0.015 of a gram is what we're supposed to have of limonene in the same thing. Is there even concentrations? So they're saying to scale that up, that limonene, if a plant is 20%, that the plant is made of 10% limonene?
Man.
Nah, I can't get down. I dig it. I mean, I get it.
So, the addition of d-limonene, which is found in many citrus fruits, in addition to cannabis and smells like oranges, shout out Haterade, shout out Go Genetics,
Yeah.
had little impact on common acute subjective cognitive or physiological effects of THC, researchers found. Inhaling the vaporized terpene by itself, meanwhile, did not produce any acute effects that differ from placebo. So,
Oh, this is wild to me.
yeah,
Cause like and maybe it's
here we go.
maybe I'm used to alpha limonene and this might be delta limonene.
Maybe.
Right?
To arrive at the conclusions, researchers had participants inhale vaporized d-limonene alone, THC alone, THC and d-limonene together, or placebo, which is distilled water. They then recorded subjects' vital signs. Why would you use distilled water? You should just use vegetable glycerin.
Yeah.
They then
making people
recorded
inhale.
subjects' vital signs, cognitive performance, and subjective drug effects and mood. Measurements were taken immediately following exposure as well as periodically over a course of 6 hours. This experiment showed simultaneously administering vaporized d-limonene and THC reduced subjective indices of THC-induced anxiety in a dose-orderly manner, the 12-author study found. However, co-administration of d-limonene with THC did not systematically alter other subjective, cognitive, or physiological effects of THC, and d-limonene did not elicit any pharmacodynamic effects when compared with placebo. It's actually because it's far away.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I literally had to zoom in.
Pharmacodynamic.
No, you got it.
So,
You're
yeah,
right.
the report says it's among the first clinical studies to demonstrate the validity of cannabis entourage effect, which theorizes that THC and other constituents of the plant interact in meaningful ways that alter acute cannabis effects. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I want that entourage effect, son.
well, and I talk about it a lot too.
Give me
Like
that
if
hemp
you can't,
milk.
if we can't have it Burger King style, have it
Right.
my way, pull everything apart, put everything back together if you want to. It's whatever you want.
Yeah.
Then I would like a little bit of everything. It's a little bit easier with that when we call it entourage effect. Give me some part of all of the plant if we're using this thing for a medicinal purpose. But um again, that's the whole thing. This thing that we allude to as an anxious response
Right.
is something that somebody else gets a medical benefit from.
Correct.
So when we call it anxious to us, it's a dose that caused us the anxiety,
Right.
but the
It
dose
doesn't mean
could
it's
be
gonna cause
something.
you the anxiety.
Correct.
It may actually alleviate whatever's going on for you.
The other thing that I'm not familiar with here, and maybe my science is a little bit old and maybe things are developing. And like I said, it could be alpha limonene that I'm familiar with.
Right.
But if this is delta limonene and this shows that it's something else, I that's fine. My familiarity with this is that limonene tends to be something that does come from a citrus,
Yeah.
but holds more of that lemony type of scent to
Sure.
it, okay? And it tends to be more in the sativa strains of things. That tends to be an outlier
Yeah.
of something that we call a sativa comparatively to something that we call an indica.
Right.
Typically, from my understanding, I thought myrcene, which I'm almost 100% confident you can find within orange juice, but it's also um,
Oh, yeah,
limonene as well will be
Sunny
in
D, now
there.
with limonene.
Well, and they will both have something that is it's just naturally
Yeah.
occurring, but it will give you an anxious cessation, right? You'll
Mm.
be less anxious if you were to, and told
Ah.
everybody, if you got too intoxicated, drink a cup of fucking orange juice. Give it a few minutes. It's got to get through your system, or
Yeah.
black pepper.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
that's literally
Current
increasing your
or current,
yeah,
however you say it.
it's
Yeah.
increasing your
Yeah,
terpenoids, right?
exactly.
It's giving those receptors that are stimulated by cannabinoids that we have overstimulated with
That's why we
cannabinoids.
have
It
coffee.
gives them another something that comes through and regulates and modulates what we're doing. And this is why also when I first talked about cannabis back in 2015, I told everybody, and I understood terpenes at a
Yeah.
low level maybe, and I
Yeah.
maybe understand them now at a decent level, but I'm
Yeah.
not as advanced as everybody in the chemistry world, whatever.
Right.
But um, terpenoids are almost expert level
Yeah.
cannabis knowledge. Once you, I mean, understand cannabinoids first. If you don't know, if you're not using CBD, CBG, CBC, CBN, THCV, you should not worry about limonene, myrcene, beta carotene, linalool.
Right.
You should, and the reason why I'm saying you shouldn't worry about that is because those things come in such very small doses and in
Yeah.
such very small quantity from the plant that it is hard to and there's all of them
Yeah.
in most of the cannabis plants,
Yeah.
right? There's a more elevated myrcene level in indicas, or it's myrcene or linalool, I think, are the two. And then in sativas, we have an elevated pinene, limonene, maybe even beta carotene thing that's going on with regularity. But in both sides, and maybe even indicas see beta carotene too. So maybe I take that back because it's kind of balanced. In both sides, it's just which side has more myrcene. Okay,
Yeah.
that's more indica. Which side has more limonene? Okay, that's sativa.
Yep.
It's not rooted in most there's no actual science that's behind this thing, and it's maybe an industry standard
Yeah.
to assume that one thing's one way or the other, but effectively individually I've seen so many people respond almost the exact opposite.
Yep.
And it might be because of something like this here, where in a in a decent quantity maybe limonene is more sedative and
Yeah.
modulating, where in other instances maybe it's more uplifting and energetic.
Yeah.
So it's just maybe per the dose, and I wish that there was more
Sure.
dosing shots, and maybe they did. Maybe I could read deeper into this thing, but it's neat that there's all these things going on now. And people are actually looking at the parts of the plants that could be causing more of the effect than just what THC is. And that's why if you've heard me before say THC is fucking boring, it's fucking boring. The rest of the parts of this plant, oh, dude, it's got so much going on.
I mean, it says here the new research is just part of a growing field of investigation into the entourage effect in cannabis, as well into entheogenic. Did I say that right? Entheogenic plants and fungi. While Western medicine typically seeks to identify and isolate a single active ingredient, the findings underscore the potentially powerful interactions of various chemical components produced by the plant. Correct. So, it's definitely a step in the right direction. You know what I mean?
It plays at different modulatory parts of the receptor itself, and that's why having different ones or having a little bit of all of them might help regulate everything, right? It's just kind of more homeostatic and not so what they call sativa one direction or indica is one direction. It could be kind of more of a wholesome.
Yeah.
But
hell yeah, dude.
I love cannabis.
I love cannabis too. I also like turtles.
Oh,
I do like turtles.
I like turtles.
As for me, I like turtles.
Yeah, man.
No, dude, this is like episode
40,
41.
It's got to be 40 something.
I think it's 40.
I think June is when we started, right?
June, right after my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your birthday? June 2nd?
Later on in June. I'm not going to say because I don't want all the birthday messages.
Dude, I'm going to message.
Oh no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you off air. It'll be fine.
Bro, by the time this episode comes out, we're going to have a new intro song.
Yeah.
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 We are. I hope that I commit to that, and then you haven't edited this.
Exactly.
Edited this. Yeah, future Aaron.
Yeah, future Aaron.
You look cute today.
Hell
and
no, we're gonna get a new theme song.
But you to hold me to it, pal. Yeah. If you're editing this and you're like, man, you have not given me that song yet, kick my ass.
All right, cool. I'm done. So that's it. We love you.
Love you all.
Yeah, smoke weed every day. We love you all. Peace.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.